Open Heaven Daily Devotional by Pastor Adebayo. Today, Saturday, November 26th, 2022. Topic: Beware of Covetousness, Part 2. Memory verse. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. 1 Corinthians 5:11. But now I have written unto you not to keep company. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, with such an one, know not to eat. Bible reading. Genesis chapter 13, verses 8 to 5. Genesis 13, 8 to 5. And Abraham said unto Lot, Let there be no strife, I pray thee, between me and thee, and between my headmen and thy headmen, for we be brethren. Is not the whole land before thee? Separate thyself, I pray thee, from me. If thou wilt take the left hand, then I will go to the right, or if thou depart to the right hand, then I will go to the left. And Lot lifted up his eyes, and beheld all the plain of Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere, before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, even as the garden of the Lord, like the land of Egypt, as thou comest unto Zoar. Then Lot chose him all the plain of Jordan, and Lot journeyed east, and they separated themselves the one from the other. Abraham dwelt in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelt in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent towards Sodom. But the men of Sodom were wicked and sinners before the Lord exceedingly. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now thy eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. Message. Covetousness is so dangerous that the Bible says you should beware of it to such an extent that when you see it in the life of someone, you are to stay away from the fellow. But now I have written unto you not to keep company. If any man that is called a brother be a fornicator, or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner, with such an one, know not to eat. 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 11. 1 Corinthians 5:11. Abraham kept company with Lot, his nephew, a covetous fellow, as we saw in yesterday's study. Little did he know that Lot was hindering him from hearing the voice of God and for the promise of the Lord being fulfilled in his life. Immediately Lot left him, God spoke. And the Lord said unto Abraham, after that Lot was separated from him, Lift up now thy eyes, and look from the place where thou art northward, and southward, and eastward, and westward. For all the land which thou seest, to thee will I give it, and to thy seed forever. In Genesis chapter 13, verses 14 to 15. Genesis 13, 14 to 15. If you have a friend who is always talking about how he or she wants money, cars, and worldly possessions, yet never talks about imparting his or her word, or doing whatever assignment the Lord will have him or her do, part ways with such a fellow. If he or she is never content and always wants what others have, so desperately as to be willing to do anything to get it, such a fellow is too dangerous to be called your friend. If any such friend refuses to change, respectfully part ways with the person, the same way Abraham parted from Lot. You have to take this step so that the person will not hinder you from getting what God has in store for you. There is a difference between being a big dreamer and being covetous. The big dreamers talks about imparting his or her word, with the resultant effect of riches following. While the covetous is not interested in making the world better, only in the riches. Understand this and look out for how your friends see riches. If you discover that they are covetous,